Once our screen's dry, it should feel smooth to the touch. If it's sticky at all, it's not dry. So if your fingers rub against it and they stick, it means you need to either get a drier room or let it dry for longer. Next thing we're gonna do is align our film to our screen. Now, viewing the screen from the inside of the screen out, you should see what is on your print, meaning that on the back of the screen, the film is actually reversed, like so. Typically, if you're doing a design, you want in the upper third of your screen, so not directly in the center, up a little bit from that. Typically about 6 inches down or so from the top of the frame. You also want to make sure that your center marks are in the center of your frame itself. This is a 20-inch frame, so making sure that our center marks are directly in the center at 10 inches. Once aligned, you want to tape it down with some clear tape to make sure it doesn't move when you put it on the exposure unit. Now remember, you want to do this entire process in a light-safe environment. This is a special exposure unit with UV bulbs, but it also has light-safe bulbs, which are yellow, and you see here so I can see what I'm doing. When I turn the UV bulbs down, it's going to start to expose. The final thing that you need is positive contact between your film positive and your image. Right here, we don't have good positive contact. So as you can see right here, the image looks a little bit blurry. And if we were going to expose this, this image would be blurry on the edges. If I press this down like so, it's nice and crisp. So a couple ways to create positive contact: you put a piece of foam and about 40 pounds of pressure on top of that foam, or you can use a vacuum exposure unit, which costs a little bit more money. This vacuum exposure unit uses a vacuum and a neoprene blanket to suck down and create that positive pressure between your screen mesh, emulsion area, and your image, making sure it's nice and crisp. Most emulsions have exposure recommendations depending on your exposure unit, light source, and your emulsion and mesh. For this pre-sensitized emulsion, we're going to expose it at about 1 minute 30 seconds. Once exposed, we're going to transport this in a light-safe environment because this area is unexposed, remember, to our developing and washout area.